Hello, hello, hello. Assy Grin here again. We've got a new season of Deceit, which means a new perk tree, which means a new perk tree video. So, we're going to go through these perks here and talk about them a little bit and all that stuff. I'd like to firstly kind of apologize for not making very much Deceit content, or I guess any content on YouTube as of late, but I haven't had really very many recordable games. I haven't been playing very much Deceit, and to be honest, it's just hasn't been very much. I don't know. It hasn't. I haven't been having very much fun with it lately, but it's seeming more fun recently. So hopefully we'll get back on that wagon and be making some more Deceit videos here soon. But anyway, we'll go through this perk tree video here and talk about these perks. And this perk tree is a little bit, I don't know, it's better, it's different, because the last 3 seasons we've had Detective and Quiet Quench, and those are both gone. They're no longer an option. You don't have those as a perk anymore, so that's great in my eyes, because, well, it's just different, and different is good. So and anyway, basically there were a lot of big perks last season. You know, there was Frisk, there was Quiet Quench, there was Detective, and none of those are there. There's no real big perks in this tree, and I think that anywhere that you would go, any perks, that any path that you would try and take is fine based on how you want to play the game and your play style. But this is currently how I'm going to do it, and I'm still in question about it, and I might change it a little bit throughout the season. And yeah, Fully Alert too. Fully Alert was there, and that allowed you to see all the innocent players while you were infected in full blood. I mean, that's crazy good. This is an automated message. Okay. And yes, I am streaming at the moment of doing this as well, so there should be a little chat thing over here. I don't know if it's I should move it so that it's not blocked by. Oh, and I'm in the wrong spot. I'm in a weird spot. I'm in a different spot. That's weird, right? That's weird. I'm down there. What the hell? Okay. Anyway, let's go through this perk tree here. You get to start with Hoarder, which doesn't matter. And then you get to choose between Stealth, Appetizer, and Step Up. I never pay attention to anybody's footsteps, I guess, so I'm not gonna pick Step Up. You know, I don't hear it at all. Rarely, I guess, sometimes maybe, but doesn't do it for me. And Appetizer. Start the game with half a slice. Doesn't change much. I still gotta drink 3 blood bags. So I'm gonna go with Stealth, which allows me to transform quieter. Which can be beneficial, because then you can transform whenever you can run around the corner and transform. Might not hear you. And then Adrenaline, that's a lot of the reason too, is because I maybe Step Up, I guess, to try it out, but I want to move 10% faster in the dark. And yes, Bounce Back is a good perk, but I guess the way that I see it, if I'm gonna not run Adrenaline and other people are gonna run Adrenaline, then Yetis can catch me. You know, Yetis are going to be able to catch me, and I don't really like the idea of Yetis being able to catch me, because I want to be able to run away from Yetis. So you guys should all take this perk, and then I can be 10% faster than you. So let's do that. That sounds like a good plan to me. But I like that, because some people will take this perk, so probably beneficial. And you get Scavenger, more ammo. And then you got these 2 perks here too. Every Last Drop. You get downed, which this is a really good perk, because you get downed, you're only going to lose half of that blood that you would otherwise. So that's good. And Sixth Sense, I mean, that's a good perk too, seeing all the blood bags at night, because I mean, finding them can be hard, but I've played a lot of these games, you know. I know these maps pretty well, and I know where the blood bags are and where they spawn. So it's kind of silly for me to take this perk, I guess, over this, without a doubt. And then on these next ones, slasher, fighting with a knife. I'm for sure gonna go with that. Need that knife damage. That's good. Magnetic mag is bad. It's in the middle, which sucks, but it's bad. I'm not gonna. So you get 20% chance of returning on hitting a target. Well, I hit about 20% of my shots if I'm lucky. So, And then backstabber. I mean, you can use this. I mean, this is viable. You can sneak up behind people, and you know you don't have to necessarily say, "Hey, I know this person is infected," or whatever. When you fight them, you don't have to announce that you're gonna fight them. You can get behind them and stab them in the back and shoot them in the back. You can use that to your advantage. So I think it's viable. Mind your step. An outline of traps stood near them in human form, or traps require you to be closer. I like this perk better than this one. I like slowly does it better, but I sure shit don't want magnetic mag, and you know, but God, you can do both without a doubt. And then the next one, I went with evasion because it's useful. This one's not as useful because I do use the trap glitch, and there is a trap glitch that allows me to put the traps down. And usually when I'm using traps, I'm putting them in narrow places where when I'm being chased by a terror anyway, you know. So I'm not going to use that perk very effectively the way that I use traps. So I use evasion. And then another trap perk. I don't really care how fast I place traps because, again, trap glitch. So I'm not going to take that perk. I really like this perk though, Head Start, because basically Head Start kind of it's a worst case scenario sort of perk in my eyes, because it allows you it raises your chances of winning the 2v2 as an innocent player. When the two innocents die and then it's a 2v2, all you need to do is down them before the night. You can get the fuses and you can still win. And with this perk, it makes that a hell of a lot easier. But we're going with Come Prepared because I have evasion. Now, and then that means that I get Fun Sponge, which I guess is a pretty good perk. I think that it's mostly good in... I was thinking about it the other day. And this is a pretty good perk for the second floor, I think, because you eat somebody, you go up, and a lot of times you're breaking levers when you get into the next zone. So this could be useful then. It's going to give you blood. The next one that I'm going to go with this perk is bad. Down on this one. Say Cheese is good, and I'm not sure how bad this is. I don't know exactly. I've never really been able to tell. I've had it a couple of times how much of a difference that it makes. But we're going to wind up going with Say Cheese here with an extra flash, which also is, it's good, you know. This perk I say is bad, and I'll explain it again. I've explained it before in other perk tree videos, but we'll go over it again. And this perk is bad because the way that I see it is, most of the time it can be good, don't get me wrong, there are situations where it can be good, but most of the time you're gonna say, hey, you know, that terror just ate somebody and I'm gonna go antidote them. Well, you want to keep that terror around. That terror is of absolutely no threat to you anymore. It can't eat anybody. It already ate somebody. Why in the world do you want to down it? Because I want to keep it there so I can try and figure out who it is. That's 90% of the time the way that I see this perk affecting you negatively. I don't like it. It's bad. Then I have to go with Surprise, even though this is a better perk. See, there's a lot of these perks that on the right side, I think, that are a little bit better than the ones on the left. But you can go either way. 10% faster when moving towards innocence. See, that's good. That means that if you're a Yeti and you're chasing somebody that has a fuse, you're faster than them. You're still faster than them. That's a pretty big deal. It can be. You can win a game because of this perk without a doubt. No question. And then we get to the final row where we have Blase. Ooh. When downed, additional volts cast on you increase your response time or respawn time by 4 seconds instead of 5. Come on. That's not that good. I don't think, you know. Just, especially when you put it next to Foresight. I mean, Foresight activated active objectives that are within 15 meters of you are waypointed, even if you didn't help activate them. So that means when you're running around, you can tell if the target practice thing is a torch, a camera, or an antidote. You know, you're gonna know. You don't need to shoot it to find out or try and steal it for no reason. If you're infected, you don't have to take stabs at it just to stealing somebody's torch, making them think that you're infected, you know? You can just only be shooting for the antidote. Unsung hero, you will be noticed who took an objective. You will be notified who took an objective that you activated. This perk is absolutely terrible. Garbage. It's bad. I think it's even worse than Blase. Because how many times, I couldn't tell you how many games I've been in where I've activated the lever and then somebody took that item and I didn't know who took it. When does that happen? I mean, there's one time it could potentially happen on the forest where you activate the lever up by the cabins and then it activates the item on top of the mountain. But you can get there. Nobody's up there waiting for your item, you know. I mean, you're gonna find out who took it. It's silly. And it's just not any good in my eyes. I would never take it. But I feel like that's been quite a while. So we're gonna keep it a little bit shorter on the perk tree video. And anyway, thanks for watching, and come hang out, come play Deceit. Late nights. Come join. Fun times.